This is Musiq Matisse, First Fan Radio, here at the Women of Hip Hop Awards Gala in Harlem. I'm joined by Oaktown 357's own Sweet LD. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you.
First off, I have to be honest, I was shocked, amazed, but it's I didn't expect to see you here tonight. I didn't expect to see the group here tonight. What's going on with Oaktown 357?
Well, actually, we were invited by Chiraq nicely, and I felt like we needed to be represented.
Right.
So I did speak to the other ladies. They weren't able to come, so I figured I better make my way here. We haven't been in New York since the last time we performed, which was at the Apollo with MC Hammer.
Now, was that during his first album?
That was during his first album when it was MC Hammer and the Posse.
Right.
That was the last time I remember coming to New York. And I didn't get to see much of it, and I didn't get to meet, really anybody. So I figured,
Right.
This time is a historical event. I needed to be here, so God bless me.
Okay. We're glad that you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Before we went on camera, you and I briefly spoke about when the group first broke through
Yes.
and the backlash that was received at one time from the East Coast
Yes.
that eventually became love and
Yes.
acceptance.
Okay.
What was it like at the beginning when MC Hammer, Oaktown 357, your entire entourage, your crew started to break through, and you're coming from the West Coast where
Right.
you are received, that's your home.
Right.
But you get here, and initially the vibe was a little different. How did you all deal with that?
Um, Basically, we dealt with it like underdogs. So most of the time, if you're considered an underdog, you have to go into the game or whatever a little harder. Like they say, hard in the paint.
Right.
You got to have that attitude. So it was more or less, we hear what you're saying about MC Hammer. Okay, wait till you see us on stage.
Right.
And that's really what we didn't have anything else to do. It was like, don't worry about it. Go out there and do what we prepared to do and get it done. So that's what we did.
So where's Oaktown 357 right now as far as a group? Where do they stand?
Right now, I think we're in a good position. We just reunited in 2014. And so, we were honored at the Underground Girls of Hip Hop as pioneers of hip hop at the time. This is 2014. So we performed there briefly, a medley, and that was kind of like testing the waters because we hadn't been out in over 20 years. So I think right now we're in a good position because people know Oaktown 357 from the past. We were inaccessible,
Right.
but we were loved.
Right, exactly.
Now we can be accessible.
Right.
We can communicate and interact
Right.
and still be loved on a different level. So I think we're in a good position.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are we talking new music? Are we talking tours? Or are we talking
Uh,
collaborations with other artists?
I think whatever opportunities come at this time, we're going to entertain them and see what's best for us. But that's why I said we're at a good position. We can kind of see what we want to do. Yeah.
Where do you all stand right now as far as MC Hammer is concerned in the relationship there?
The relationship with MC Hammer in 2016 is really good. And we had to reach that point because it was rough before. But we both had a chance. And when I say we both, myself, Sweet LD, and Terrible T had a chance to sit with him at different times and just kind of hash it out, So I think we're in a good place.
For those who don't know or may not remember, what at the end led to the relationship being rocky? Because you started out with a bang,
Yeah.
So what transpired that actually made it a little rocky?
I think there were layers of things that happened, but when we started out, it started out as a team and as a family. And then a little bit later on, the dynamics changed. It was, you guys are here and I'm over here, So there was a separation, which is expected. You have a new group. So we had to do things that were not with him. So that progressed and that was pretty good. But I think as he ascended, there was a change in management. There was a change in the perspective of where they wanted Oaktown's 357 to be. And with that change and those changing dynamics, it just was not really a good fit for the group. But they decided to release us. And so, yeah.
Now, you're originally from California.
Born in Houston, raised in Oakland, California.
Okay. My question to you is, how do you feel about the current resurgence on a mainstream level to some in regards to the success of Straight Outta Compton, stuff that the game is doing, Too Short, Ice Cube. How do you feel about West Coast rap today versus where it was when you guys first came on?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it's not really anything negative I could say about it. Music in and of itself always has an ebb and a flow, always. But with the success of Straight Outta Compton, it makes not only those that were there at that time revisit that experience, but it's teaching those that are coming up, what one part of that happened with rappers back then. So I think I really think that it's important. I think it's an important move. I think it's a what's the word? Tangible uh, growth is what I could say, and it's important. It's a recognition that we rarely get. I think, as far as hip hop is concerned. So
Now, it's funny you use the word recognition.
yeah.
Okay. I'm going to run down the list for you.
Okay.
Marvelous,
Yes.
Conscious Daughters,
Yes.
Oaktown 357,
Yes.
JJ Fad.
Yes. Young
And I can go
Thug,
on
Sugar
and
T.
on and on. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medusa.
How do you think that the West Coast women are placed in the history of rap as far as female rappers or just rap in general?
Wow. That's a tough, touchy question.
Take your time.
Okay. So let me just be honest, because there's no need to like sugarcoat it. There's a difference with the East Coast and the West Coast
Right.
because this is where it started. So there's always just a little bit of shade thrown. You know what I mean? And so if something comes up, I think they look to the East Coast women first. That's okay. Just don't forget your sisters.
Right.
That's all it is. Just don't forget, because we are all one.
Right.
So if most of these men can get together and do things and collaborate and not forget each other,
Right.
then I think women should do the same thing. And that's why I'm here tonight. I think she's doing a great job.
Well, we're definitely glad.
bridging that.
We're glad that you graced us with your presence here on the East Coast.
Thank you so much.
Again, shouts out to you, all the other young ladies from the West Coast that pioneered this whole movement. We're happy to have you here on the East Coast, and we definitely wish you success in the future.
Thank you so much.
Anything you want to say before you leave us?
Shout out to my sisters on the West Coast. I'm here for Oaktown's 357, but I'm also representing all the females on the West Coast that were not able to make it. Nothing but love. So I hope y'all see this and appreciate that.
It's Musiq Matisse, Sweet LD from the legendary Oaktown 357. Also, we want to send a shout out to First Fam West Radio and all of our brothers and sisters on the West Coast.